What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
Charlie's Angels, new reboot out in theaters, written and directed by Elizabeth Banks. Proof of gender equality that even women can make shitty action movies, which this movie is pretty bad. I watched a little bit of the first remake, I guess you could call it, the one that came out in like 2000, the Charlie's Angels with like Lucy Liu and what's her face from there's something about Mary. But really cheeseball, the first one, let me tell you. Super cheese, also very much almost like very comical, but like a spoof movie in a lot of ways, because there's like a lot of references to like the action movie genre, I guess you could say, but definitely more campy than this one. This one's kind of trying to make a little bit more serious. There's some universe building with this version of the Charlie's Angels. There's the Angels is a big like underground syndicate of like hot chicks that solve crimes. The casting was perfectly good in this one. I think it's I've never seen, aside from Kristen Stewart, I've never seen Naomi Scott before. I don't think Ella Balinska. Not familiar with her either. Oh, maybe I am. But yeah, just not good. Just not good. Like this movie could have been like, I'm all for stupid action movies. Don't get me wrong. But action movies are a lot like porn, right? We're not necessarily there for the story. The plots tend to be pretty generic and just an excuse to get from one action scene to the next, or in porn, one sex scene to the next. But I'm there for I'm there for the action. I'm there for the main event. I'm not there for the dialogue. I'm not there for the pizza guy. I'm there for the main event. And this one didn't have very good acting. I mean, the acting was okay. The writing, however, was really bad. The writing was really bad and the directing was really bad. Some of the action scenes were just like, they were just action scenes in this movie are just like close-ups of people. You can tell there's movement involved in like fight scenes, but you can't really see what's going on. A lot of stuff is happening just out of frame, or not on camera at all. It's just very bad action movie kind of directing, which I was kind of hoping. I didn't know going into it who wrote and directed it. I saw at the end, of course, the credits, Elizabeth Banks, and she's also in it. She plays Bosley. But yeah, just kind of disappointing in that way. I mean, it's a movie I could see people watching on like an airplane or just throwing it on. It's perfectly fine as a shitty action movie, but it doesn't transcend the genre in any way. It doesn't bring anything new to the genre. It's not very good at actually showing the action moments. There's nothing really special there. The story is really kind of stupid. It's about this company who vaguely understand what kind of company it is, but they developed this way for infinite power, right? So we can power the world with like these little stupid cube devices, not cubes, but they're like these little, they almost look like gems, but made by plastic. And some of the sides of the gem will glow. And then on the back side of the gem is like a little screen, little like business card kind of touch screen, which is a fingerprint scanner that allows people to access this gem kind of a thing. But the gem is like an integrated, it's almost like a smart device. Like if you were to pick up like an Alexa or something like that and it had a screen on it. But then somehow that device also powers everything. I don't know. It's like a thing that was put in this movie. Like it's very clear through this movie that Elizabeth Banks has really no concept of how technology works or anything like that. I used to sell electronics at Costco for a decade, and people would come in all the time just with their assumptions of how like computers work or TVs work, or they kind of saw a commercial and they confused like marketing gimmicks with actual features. I remember Best Buy put out like 4D TVs, which was kind of like a ridiculous idea. And then people would come in for 4D TVs. It's like you people are stupid. But Elizabeth Banks clearly doesn't have a grasp on technology, how smart devices work. It's almost like the stupidity you see in movies, where in action movies, where somebody hacks into a computer. I think it was one of the later fucking diehards, where the bad guys hacked into a computer and just being able to hack into a standard computer, you're able to make it explode somehow. Just kind of but there's a lot of examples of the technological ignorance that she has, where the cube idea is just stupid. It's just kind of like it's something that would just be in the cloud. You would just access it through any kind of computer. You wouldn't need to have a specific device. The device itself wouldn't have the power to be like generating energy and electricity for stuff. It would just be like an input device, kind of like an Alexa. Like the Amazon store isn't inside of an Alexa. It's just a way to contact with the services that they provide. And there's probably one going off behind me right now. It's I keep mentioning its name like Beetlejuice. But there are specific scenes, like one word kept being brought up, blockchain, like in reference to having to hack in, which blockchain is a term for cryptocurrencies. It has nothing to do with it's just like it's like a word that she's heard before while people are talking about technology, and she just decided to take that word and put it into this thing, and then all of a sudden it's supposed to make sense, but it doesn't. It has no like connection to what's going on in the movie. And then at the very end of the movie, there's a scene that's really not explained, where it shows Charlie, but Charlie is actually a woman. Surprise, surprise. And the device that Charlie's using to modify her voice to sound like Charlie when Charlie talks to all the Bosleys, it said transcoding. Which transcoding, for those that don't know, is when you take a file of a specific format, whether it's, an image in a JPEG format, and you're converting that JPEG into like a TIFF or a different type of image format, or like video. If a video is in like an MOV format and you want to convert that into an MP4, let's say, like just a different video format. Sometimes older devices, older services online, you had to upload specific file formats for specific types of media. So you'd have to transcode those files from, like, let's say, an MOV file into an MP4 file. All that is just changing the format of the file. It's not manipulating a voice to sound like a dude when you're a chick. It's just clearly a word that was grabbed. It's like, ooh, this sounds smart. Let me say this is transcoding the voice. Anyway, just kind of clearly just all, and it's so heavily based around technology because it's like this thing that they have to go get. It's like the MacGuffin of the movie is this little device that they have to get because it can be hacked and turned into a bomb. But then also it has a glitch where it can set out an EMP, but then the EMP like affects humans for some reason, even though electromagnetic pulses, to my knowledge, only affect like electronic devices. They don't actually affect humans. There's a lot of inconsistencies and just bad, ignorant kind of writing. But the action was very disappointing. So whatever. It's a whatever movie. The only other person in the theater that was watching it loved every fucking minute of it. So I'm sure people like it, but I don't know. It's just bad. Like it wouldn't have taken a lot to make it good. Like just good enough to be a fun action movie. But there was just no fun action moments really. Just kind of stupid. So gender equality is true. Thank you, Elizabeth Banks, for proving that women can and do make shitty action movies as well. They also make good ones, like the original Point Break was written and directed by a female. Anyway, that's it for this episode. New episodes come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go buy my artwork over at inspireddisorder.com and save 25% when you use coupon code RTS. Follow me on social media at Ray Taylor. Have a wonderful week, everybody. Peace out!